Welcome back, everybody. For your Do Now, I was asking if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? We looked at countries from all around the world. We looked at every continent, all these different regions. You got to explore culture, current events, history, geography, and all these different regions. Where would you want to go? Today we have our review for our final, which will be either tomorrow or Thursday. Here's a quick reminder of our different levels of questions. You'll have to answer all these different types of questions on the final. Level 1, just tell me the right answer. Level 2, explain, teach me using examples. Level 3, give me an answer, a reason why, some sort of evidence or example from class. An analysis, why does that matter? That should take 3 to 5 sentences. And then a level 4, the full evaluation. It's answer, reason, evidence or example, analysis, plus all the counterclaim and the challenge of the counterclaim. These are things we've been practicing since the beginning of the school year, so we should have these sort of skills figured out. I just need you to apply them to the content we learned. So the different things we learned about, our first region was the Middle East. This was back in December. We were focusing a lot on culture and society. So we spent a lot of time looking at the religious aspects of the Middle East, the Islamic religion and its influence on countries. We talked a lot about conflict in this region and the fact that people are leaving and are refugees. We looked at Saudi Arabia and its treatment of women. We looked at Iran and its treatment of women. We also talked about conflict and war in Yemen, as well as conflict and war in Israel. And then we had a religious sites project where you learned about a lot of famous religious sites across the Middle East. In Africa, we were learning about health issues. So we looked at different diseases that are affecting the country, like tuberculosis, or the continent, like tuberculosis, malaria, AIDS. We also talked about water insecurity, water stress versus water scarcity. We talked about labor, and kids working in mines and its effect on health. We talked about malnourishment, the lack of food, war, child soldiers. All this stuff affects the overall health of a country. Next, we spent a few days on Central Asia talking about how countries develop. We talked about HDI, Human Development Index, and then which country is more successful, which one of those countries has built the best nation. In Southeast Asia, it was all about population. So we talked about how population and development are connected in the different stages. We analyzed population pyramids. We talked about India, cause and effect of their overpopulation. Then we looked at cities in Southeast Asia on Google Maps, but we also researched a few. In East Asia, we were all talking about globalization and global trade and how products are made on the global scale. So then we also talked about job automation, how about robots and machines taking jobs. We talked about China and its conflicts around the world, but also specifically with Taiwan. And then we talked about Korea, North and South Korea. Our last region was Antarctica. We spent a week talking about it. We focused on the research that's happening down there and then the plant and animal life, the biodiversity. So today we'll be doing a review game. You can work with a partner. You can use anything in your notes, your reading, your work, but not your phone or Chromebook. You'll answer on the whiteboard and the winning team gets extra credit. When we're done with that, we'll have a review sheet to work on where you can write down any information that you think is going to help you on the test.